Oh my God, you can bet on pro wrestling? Yeah, you can at mybookie.ag. Then, when you use the code FIGHTFUL, you get a $50 bonus on your $100 deposit or a $100 bonus on a $200 deposit. If you think you know more than the casual fan, than the average fan about what's going to happen on the upcoming pro wrestling shows, head over to MyBookie. Test your metal over there. But it's not just pro wrestling, it's UFC. We've covered UFC odds for years here at Fightful, and we are getting them exclusively from MyBookie. Sports all across the world. They have live casino games, table games, slot games, all kinds of stuff at MyBookie. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do that and use the code FIGHTFUL. Now, we only want you to bet what you can, and please bet responsibly, but use that code FIGHTFUL and get that fantastic bonus and make a little money off something that you might have a little bit of an education on here in pro wrestling.
Hi, guys. What would you say to a three-headed wrestler? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Saturday Night Collision post-show here on Fightful. It's your girl, Cresta Star, joined by the illustrious, the sixth player, probably on the Fightful roster, maybe sort of on a freelance contract, SP3. SP3, how are you? Thank you for filling in tonight.
Oh, I am doing well. I'm glad to be here on a Saturday night. Glad to be here with Cresta Star, my favorite person to talk all ghetto terms in professional wrestling. Or no, excuse me, urban terms in professional wrestling. Shout out to Javon Evans.
I feel so urban right now. And I hope you guys are feeling urban too. If you're feeling super urban, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to us over here on Fightful on YouTube. We've got 215,000 followers. You can make it 216,000 with you. We've got a lot of cool things going on tonight. If you want to get your questions or comments definitely read on air, give us a super chat. There's a button here somewhere on YouTube, or you can go ahead and give us a humper chat over at humperchats.com. Myself and SP3 will answer your questions, read your comment out loud on air. And if you leave us a humper chat, we get to keep a little bit more of the proceeds. Everybody's happy. Humperchats.com. How did you feel about AEW Collision tonight on February 21st, 2026, SP3 overall?
I rather enjoyed it. I think it was a great week of AEW television, and I thought this was one of the better Collision episodes of 2026 so far. A lot of times, Collision has a lot of not so important wrestling going on, but I think like over the last couple of weeks, especially with like Ciampa winning the TNT title a couple of weeks ago, we had Grand Slam Australia in this spot last week, and now this week's episode, it seems like Collision is catching up to the hot streak that Dynamite has been on.
I agree. Tonight was good. I love a good heel. And tonight we ended up on people healing it up.
And it was like the swerve heel turn on Dynamite on Wednesday. This was something that was needed. Like I did AE Ramble with my boy Jimmy Macaram. Shouts out to him on True Hill Heat. And the main thing that we were talking about is how FTR and the Young Bucks, throughout their 4 matches over the last 6 years in AEW, it's always been about who's the greatest team of all time. And that gets a little long in the tooth. That gets a little old after like the second or third matchup. And this is going on the 5th matchup coming up at Revolution. They needed some heat. They needed some animosity. They needed some hatred to be added to this. And the fact that FTR was hilarious with the whole beat down, pushing Mama Buck, and then Stokely botching the powder to the face of Papa Buck was hilarious, and then just assaulting Brother Buck, and then they gaslit the Young Bucks at the end. They were like, "You made this personal. You attacked Stokely."
We're gonna get into all of that because again, this show ended with the best sports entertainment angle we have. But we're gonna do a little bit more housekeeping before we get into everything, guys. We got some scoops over here from Fife. I'm going to read it to you guys verbatim so I don't get sued by someone's mom or lawyers, because I know I ain't got it and Sean ain't got it either. All right, boom. So Finlay is not factored into WWE plans. So if you guys were worried about that, young man, that's not happening. Jericho is still under AEW contract. It's frozen due to time off in 2025. So All of that's on Fightful Select. You can get that scoop right now. Kenny Omega is also not planned to wrestle at Revolution due to scheduling conflicts. Again, all of this is on Fightful Select. We got QRS, Jesus Christ. SRS does Q&A. So does Grapsity. That's a lot of acronyms for you. So all of that fun stuff. You get all the bonuses.
You did
Come
the
on,
alphabet.
ABC.
QRS.
QRS, TCB, ABC, you and me. You can get all of that on Fightful Select, guys. Plus, we talk about the blackout WWE restrictions. Bad Bunny was contacted by WWE and Mania availability per WrestleVotes, all on Fightful Select. Definitely give us a subscribe. Shout outs to Fightful Select. Let's get into AEW Dynamite. First, we're going to start off right and spicy with Ricardo Holt. Thank you so much for the 2 buckaroonies. Hi, Miss Cresta and Sir SP3. Hi, lovelies. Well, hello to you too. First, we start off with this trio championship match. We had a demand: Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona versus Jet Set Rodeo, Hangman Adam Page, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey. I thought the man was going to win. I feel like Kevin Knight has been showing signs of heel for the past couple of weeks, and I thought tonight would be the night I drop the belts for you. That's what I thought was going to happen. It didn't happen, but both teams were incredibly cohesive. The rapid fire kicks from Speedball to Bishop Khan, I thought, were amazing. Commentary also kept putting over that this was Jet Set Rodeo's first title defense. They were making it sound like these boys are about to lose. I don't know, it's their title defense. So I was pleasantly surprised when the demand lost due to Jack Perry just being able to distract Ricochet, not paying attention. So he gets buckshot Lariat out of his boots and Hangman gets the pin. I want to ask you, SP31, besides your opinion, do you think this was the right thing to do? I mean, this does lead into the angle later on in the night, but do you think this was the right thing to do to keep it on Jet Set Rodeo?
Well, first I want to say this was, in my eyes, probably the best match of the night. I thought they just came out firing. It was a great opener to the show. The crowd had a lot of energy, and all 6 guys showed out. I thought the MVP of the matchup was Toa Leona.
Yes.
Toa Leona just went crazy with the pounces on the outside, showing off his power with the fall away slam and Samoan drop on Jet Speed. Jet Speed is always great how they work together. I love the matching gear as well for Jet Set Rodeo. That made them feel like a legitimate trio. That's what made this matchup just work on so many levels, because it felt like we had 2 trios out there going at it. I really feel like the demand will have their time. The demand need to become trios champions, because the way they have showed that chemistry and came together, and they feel like one of the most proper groups in AEW, and they're a group that just came together within the last year. They just feel like they've been together for years now at this point. And Bishop Khan is so underrated, so I want to see him win some gold as well as a longtime ROH mark. I did think though that Jet Set Rodeo was going to win. I just don't like how they won. I feel like they overuse with the opener and the main event of the show, the distraction finish, which I preferred that over a lot of interference throughout the night, but it felt very repetitive to do the same finish. I'd rather the finish for the main event with the distraction than this, mainly because I think they have totally... Why are we still doing Ricochet and Jack Perry? He's beaten them twice for the national championship. Why are we still doing this? I'm down for, Jack Perry being used in some way. I just don't need any more matches between Ricochet and Jack Perry over the national championship, because it feels, if they're doing a third matchup between these, that Jack Perry is probably going to win the national championship. And I think that's the wrong move.
I agree with that. I think there's a much more interesting story, especially tonight, looking at Speedball and Ricochet. I need that. I put that in my hand right now. I definitely need that. So I don't know. I feel like at this point, whatever's happening with Hangman, I feel like you're more interested in your world title than the trios title. And you can also tell that Kevin Knight is longing for a little bit more, to be more involved in the picture. I do have to agree with you about Toa Leona being the MVP of this match. The way that he did that Samoan drop, and I think it was a fall away slam to Speedball and Kevin Knight, man, that boy's strong.
Yeah, he showed off his power. He just has that poise. He always knows where the camera is at too. He plays to the camera and the crowd so well. So I really like Toa Leona. And I like how they're highlighting him in these multi-man matches. And I thought that Hangman and Ricochet had some great chemistry together. And it made me remember that Ricochet was so close to the main event scene. I need him to get back closer to the main event scene. So maybe I do need him to lose the national championship to do that, but I just feel like he can do more with the title than just losing it to Jack Perry, the same guy he's been facing since World's End.
You know, that kind of low-key reminds me, well, not low-key, there's a promo tonight later on with the Babes of Wrath where Harley's like, we beat you. And that's how I feel again with, like you said, Ricochet and Jack Perry. Well, I've already beaten you, but we'll get there. The next segment we have is with the Rascals. The Rascals enjoying professional wrestling in a way that
we enjoy professional wrestling.
I'm trying to find a way to say it without saying it. You know, a little jazz cigarette. You know, like.
Well, I think FTR put it the best. The devil's lettuce.
This segment. 10 out of 10. I love the Rascals. The Treehouse. This was great. This man said, I knew it. I could smell it from down the hall. You guys smoking the devil's lettuce. And not is Wentz like, I'm a Christian. Honestly, as someone who chooses to be sports entertained, I often find myself being a chef in the devil's kitchen. So why are you upset, Dax? Like, let people like wrestling the way that they like wrestling. So he was like, I wish you guys would have won so we could beat you up. And Desmond Xavier's like, well, we could fight right now. Xavier and Zachary starts clearing off the tables like, oh, we don't fight losers. We could fight in the ring. Why we hand out a title shot? It could be an eliminator match. In my mind, all I could see is some Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, Wabbit season, Duck season, Wabbit season, Wabbit season, Duck season, fire. Like, how did that even work? I'm screaming. And I'm also screaming at the end when Myron was like, okay, how are we going to do it? Rock, paper, scissors. And it was like, yo, but we're undefeated. All right.
It's like, all right, damn. Like,
how did you feel about this segment?
Oh, the treehouse is so much fun. I've seen these people that don't dabble in the devil's lettuce who are like, oh, they're just stoners in the year 2026. It's not cool anymore. It's just fun. It's just fun. They're just fun, goofy guys who like the devil's lettuce, and just having the juxtaposition between them and FTR was a nice setup. And I always enjoy, because AEW so often they will tell you the whole lineup so you know what's happening on the show. That's why I do like when they set up an impromptu matchup like this in this fashion, where you get like a segment that sets up a matchup for later on in the night. So this was a fun segment that played off the characters involved very well.
Yeah, I agree. I think the treehouse is so funny because I think it's a little bit more realistic. It's enough fourth wall breaking where you're like, okay, maybe you're human and not just, my name is El Grande Americano and I'm a dude pretending to be another dude pretending to be a dude. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's okay to
another dude.
Trying to explain Grande Americano to somebody is a trip. So, like, hear me out. It was this one guy, but now it's an Austrian pretending to be a Mexican, pretending to be an American. Never mind, actually. Now that I'm saying it out loud, never mind.
You know, just doesn't make sense.
This segment is followed up by a tag team match. The Young Bucks versus the Swirl. Now, normally, this is the part where I say, well, where's Rick? Rick was out here wrestling tonight, but not tonight. Rick was out here having a daddy-daughter dance, and honestly, my little Grinch heart grew 4 sizes that day. That was so cute. What do you mean you're out here being a loving father? Anyway, so Rick wasn't in this match. This was actually Blake Christian. Everyone says Rick loves. Hey, Rick is the best dad, NA, period.
Yes.
This match was fine. This match reminded me of all of my favorite mid-card 1990s match. You got the gear with the fringe on the Young Bucks. The Swirls gear reminded me of Discovery Zone. I don't care what anybody says. Forget y'all. That's what it reminded me of. This was great. That was a clean moonsault from Lee Johnson onto the Bucks. This man's legs did not bend. He just said, alley-oop, and then landed right on his feet. That was, I have to say, poor Matt Jackson was getting worked over like it was his turn tonight. Like he was tagging, he was it. They was just getting him tonight. He was so isolated. The end comes off of a buckle bomb onto Blake Christian, which is followed up. I think they ended up getting Lee out of the ring, and then a BTE trigger on Blake Christian, which looked really, that looked like he ate all them knees tonight. So I'm glad that wasn't actually Rick. So what did you think of this match? Because I thought it was just fine.
This was fun. This was a fun matchup. They didn't waste any time. I think it was like maybe 10 minutes or less, but it felt like all thriller, no filler.
Yeah.
I thought that the swirl looked good in the matchup. And anytime they get the chance to go out, especially Blake Christian, the swirl looked great. But Lee Johnson is so underrated. I love that little double team move they did on the outside where Lee did like a frog splash while Blake did the reverse DDT on Matt.
Yes.
And it completely crushed him. You heard that bump. It must have hurt. It must have sucked. Similar to later on in the matchup when the Bucks do the Doomsday device and freaking Lee lands right on Blake Christian's face. I was like, oh, I know that had to suck. So that's how they set up the BTE trigger. So a lot of fun getting Bucks a strong win in their kind of home state of California. And I love how this matchup really set up the family being in the front row, because I was like, oh, okay, this was just nice. The Bucks get to pick up a win in front of their family. I had no idea what would happen by the end of the night.
Not the Chekhov's gun. Like, hey, what a nice gun. Hopefully that won't come back to bite me later. We have a Hangman versus MJF recap. Since I have you here, what do you think, or how do you feel about Hangman saying that if he loses, he can never challenge for the championship again? I spoke with Rick last week about it, and personally, I hate this idea. I hate this concept. I think it's dumb. I never liked the idea. It's not like you're about to retire. You know, you're a young man, and either MJF is going to cheat you out your boots or you just telegraph the win. What did you think about that?
I've been hearing a lot of people that are against it because it didn't work out with Cody Rhodes, but I feel like this is something that works for me, and it makes this matchup that I really wasn't that interested in when it was set up at Grand Slam Australia with Hangman beating Andrade, because I really wanted Andrade to win, and I love what we got between Andrade and MJF on this show, which we'll talk about in a bit. But I think that it makes this Hangman and MJF matchup feel like the blow off, and it also makes it unpredictable because, like you just said, I think that everybody and their mama last Saturday when it was made for Revolution, they were like, oh, MJF's just gonna win, so it'll just be a very good match, very good to great matchup that we all know what the finish is gonna be. Now they have made it completely unpredictable with the stipulation, and I think that it's too soon for Hangman to get back the AEW World Championship. So even if he loses, I think he can explore different avenues. He can actually defend the trios title consistently instead of spending a month without defending the trios titles. Maybe he can explore going into the tag team division. He can go after the TNT championship. There's so many other things that Hangman can do in AEW. He doesn't have to be in the AEW world title picture. So I think that this stipulation, more than anything, it got people talking about this matchup that weren't talking about it last Saturday. So it's gotten a lot of attention. People are talking about it. People are either intrigued, they're upset, they're confused. Like, there's so many feelings about this thing, but I think that that's the reason why I think it's working.
I wanted to kick you. I wanted to feel my KOs and kicked you when you said you liked this. I was like, this is malarkey. I want to believe it. We normally are in agreement. I agree with you there that I think it is too soon for Hangman to get the title back. But I just look at Hangman, just the way that they've built him and the way that he acts, just the character art that he's had. He always needs to be someone that you're like, oh, he could challenge for the world title. I don't like that idea on someone who's got more meat on the bones. You know what I mean? Like, nothing. Yo, I'm afraid to say this because you might step on me because I'm short. But like, if Big Bill said I'll never challenge, I'm like, I don't care. But I care if Hangman can't do it. You know what I mean?
But I think that they specified, especially MJF on social media, that this is not something that's going to be legally binding. It's not going to be something that's in his contract. It is Hangman's word. Hangman gave his word that he will not get another shot at the AEW World Championship if he loses this matchup. So you set up the scenario that I always wanted from Cody. Of course, with Cody, it would have been him using his EVP power to get the title shot after he lost that matchup against Chris Jericho, but they never did it. They were never able to pay off that storyline. I feel like this is Tony Khan. This was probably Tony Khan's story that he wanted to tell with Cody, and now he's just doing it with Hangman Adam Page, where eventually Hangman, the resentment towards not having the AEW World Championship, a title that he said on Wednesday that he needed so much, eventually, maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, who knows, he will go back on his word. He will actually be a heel, because he really wasn't a heel in 2024. It was kind of a circumstantial heel thing where he was still a man of his morals, still a man that was trying to get revenge on Swerve for what he did, breaking into his home, putting his family at danger. He was a justified heel. Now he can become a legitimate evil heel that went back on his word, gets the AEW World Championship, and we can get a heel run from Hangman Adam Page as AEW World Champion, which I think will probably work out better for him than the two babyface runs, which were great for the chase, but not so great when he got the title. I think a heel Hangman having the AEW World Championship in a year, 2 years from now, I think that's going to work out much better, and we're going to go back and say 3 years from now, that's the best title reign that he ever had.
Okay, smart brother. You got me, pal. You got me, pal. Nah, that makes sense. Because like, if it's not legally binding, yo, hey, I like
Exactly. That's why I like what Max said he went on social media and was like, Hangman gave his word that he will not challenge for the AEW World Championship. So that means that they're probably not going to put that in the contract. They're coming up with different stipulations on Wednesday of what the match is going to be about, but it's mostly Hangman's word, and Hangman has always been a man of his word. So what happens when that man of his word, the main character, goes back on his word and gets the AEW World title?
I need him to cut a promo and say, I lied. That's you got me. He's a smart guy.
Didn't
Smart guy.
Smart guy.
We're gonna put a little pin in that last segment with another super chat from Louisville. Okay, I'm a little dyslexic. D is for dyslexia. Let's go. Rick recovering from that BTE trigger. I see. Nah. Rick out here being real big dad hours. That picture was too cute. My stomach hurts. It was so cute. I'm not gonna lie. He out here being a dad.
It was lovely.
All right, guys. We're moving on. Oh, remove the comment. You got this, Cresta. You're a professional. We go on to House of Glory was trending on my For You today on X. And this segment I thought was hilarious because it shows MJF, Zilla Fatu challenges MJF for the AEW World title. Andrade interferes because why not? MJF still gets the win, right? I'm trying not to laugh because there were other things that happened at the House of Glory, and I'm trying to be professional.
Yeah, we won't talk about them things.
I'm trying to be professional. So they go to backstage, and MJF was like, "Yo, what the was that, bro?" And yo, this Andrade, you are a piece of crap. Compliment, because he was like, "Hey, yo, tranquilo, why you giving an indie guy a title shot?" Hey, yo. I'm like, yo, Andrade, you. That was some scumbag shit. Because what if he would have lost, bro? I know you go to House of Glory, but what if he would have lost? He was like, bro. He said, why are you scared? You scared I'm gonna beat you? He said, yo, you think you're I forgot what he said about Andrade, but he said, I'm the Hebrew Cabrone or something like that. And I was like,
He said,
what are you even saying, bro?
he said, "You're the real Latin man. Well, I'm the big Hebrew."
MJF, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
He was the Hebrew Hammer when he faced Brody King, and now he's Big Hebrew.
I'm not gonna lie, the Hebrew Hammer ate. That ate. That ate.
That ain't. But I love the dynamic of Andrade and MJF. I saw someone on social media bring up that, you know, maybe at Dynasty, that's the world title matchup, Andrade and MJF, which I would love. They do a heel versus heel matchup, and you can also do Swerve and Omega at that show in Canada. Ooh, that's a great double main event that I would love to see. But Andrade is one of the hottest stars in all of wrestling, especially in AEW, and his act is so easy to kind of transition and make him the baby face against someone like MJF.
But also too, I think that Andrade has such a natural swagger about him where it's like, you can't be serious right now. He's like, you're right, I'm not. But I'll also slap the taste out of your mouth. So I'm very serious. You see the joke? We're laughing. Laugh.
No, but they played off each other very well. Even when Max was done and he left, and Andrade says, "This mother."
I think that was Andrade. Like, oh, this guy is funny. He got jokes. Come on, Big Hebrew, you're funny. Andrade's a living embodiment of, yo, you're funny. Be funny when I get back, but you're funny.
I'll catch you later.
You're the funny man. Like Obo with Kit Wilson last night. I love that poem. Tell me another one now.
Read it now.
Read a poem.
But I think Andrade made a good point. He kind of babyfaced himself to me already because he made a good point. Because everybody in AEW, the world title picture is probably the best that it's been in AEW in years, where everybody's fighting to get a world title shot. Like Hangman had to go through Andrade to get this shot at Revolution. You got Swerve nearly murdering Omega to get another shot on Dynamite. And this guy's giving it out to Zilla Fatu on HOG show. Who did he beat to get a title shot? He's giving it to Alec Price at Limitless Wrestling. He's going all around the indies and defending the title when everybody's fighting in AEW for a title shot. He's right. Max, you're doing too much.
Doing too much. Dun, 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 dun. Let me stop. You know what I need to not stop? This bald v bald match we got next. Oh my God. This match was superb, splendid, splendiferous, amazing. I was sports entertained. We got the CMLL World Championship title match between Josh Alexander and Claudio Castagnoli. Yo, I'm mad at the lack of ball chance, but that's my only complaint about this match. I have notes, but my notes I feel like doesn't do justice to this match. It started off with a running nasty European uppercut. Josh Alexander just got yeeted into the barricade, and Josh Alexander is 9'9", no less, but so is Claudio Castagnoli. So you literally had Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla fighting tonight. The chest chop exchange. Yo, I never want to be a professional wrestler. That's why I watch my mouth, bro. Because there was no way, there's no amount of money you could pay me. Because I've seen Josh Alexander wrestle in TNA. And while those chest chops didn't make the same that Claudio's made, I've seen people's chests after Josh Alexander's turned their chest into hamburger helper. They were dense. But Claudio was giving him the Keith Lee special, the shut up, bitch. Jesus, it was just, this match was so good. There was, I don't know what it was, but Claudio, let me bring it back. There was so much. Okay, there's a figure 4 reversed by Claudio Castagnoli. there was a knee ankle. He messed up his ankle. There was a snap Corella deadlift or something. There was so much that happened in this match. There was at one point Josh Alexander was getting hoisted up, and then Claudio slipped down. Oh no, Josh Alexander slipped down after getting hoisted up, and then Claudio somehow deadlifted. This was sports black magic, and I was very sports entertained, bro. Please help me. I'm at a loss of words. This was so good, man.
Yeah, they went out and they had a banger right here because this was probably one of Claudio's best matches in a while, and I really enjoyed his matchup with Roderick Strong a couple of weeks ago on Collision, but I thought this was a little bit better. Josh Alexander was so good in this matchup. He's one of the best technical wrestlers out there, and how he went after the leg relentlessly, and then the selling of Claudio. Everything he did, he kept going back to the knee. He's like selling the knee, trying to loosen it up, trying to heal it up as he's like doing different moves throughout the matchup. And yeah, that one spot was amazing. First there was you had twice where Josh went through his legs and was getting him into position for German suplex. And then the third time he goes through Claudio's leg, Claudio just turns around and deadlifts him and does a gut wrench and then slams him down. Then you have the other spot of the whole matchup is him deadlifting from his knees, picking him up in a body slam position, then transitioning that into a suplex where he looks like he's going to drop him at least twice, and he hits it. I was like, yo, Claudio, this is awesome. Claudio being a babyface, that felt so refreshing because it really felt throughout the whole Death Riders angle, especially 2024 into 2025, that Claudio was really like slowing things down and being more of the heel. And that only worked with like a couple of people. Like he had great matches with Darby Allin, great matches in the Continental Classic with Takeshita and Moxley and stuff like that. But Claudio is at his best when he is the power, fight from underneath babyface, and this was it in this matchup. Love the spot with Marina Shafir stepping up to stare down with Lance Archer too. They played their roles great at ringside as well. This was a great matchup, arguably up there with one of the better performances from Josh Alexander as well, who was just in Mexico versus Esfinge and defending the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling World Championship, and then gets on a plane, comes to California, and delivers this banger with Claudio. That's why I said this was a really good episode of Collision, because you had two bangers, the opener and then this one, and we're still in the first hour.
Bro, I'm making my face because this match was like when that beat is nasty. Like, I know Pharrell produced this shit. This whole match, man. Even the baby big swing, because when he went to pick up Josh Alexander the first time for the swing, I said, knock it off. That guy's gonna hit the ring, the ropes, because he's mad tall. But he got it, maybe got 2.5 revolutions. Like, all right, knock it off. And then that neutralizer again, Josh Alexander and Claudio Castagnoli is Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla. How are you picking him up for a neutralizer? Are you kidding me? This match was so good. I was thoroughly sports entertained. I feel like Bret Hart was somewhere like, you goddamn sons of bitches.
They worked really well together. Like this was another level. Like baby face Claudio. That's the difference. Like that, seeing him work as a baby face, I was like, I need more of this. Please just be a babyface from now on, because you do your best work when you're in this position.
We got a super chat. I'm going to try to pronounce this because D is for Lisdexia, and that's what I got. Blatant Stogdill. I hope I said that right. Sends in the 10 buckaroonies. Thank you so much. Claudio was boss level tonight. Yes. Props to Excalibur for highlighting the Carolyn lift he hit. Maybe that's what I heard. I was like, I don't know what that is. That was black magic. If you don't know who Alexander Carolyn is, Google YouTube him. Greatest shoot Greco-Roman wrestler ever. You know what? Thank you for the sports edutainment. Here on Fightful, you can learn and laugh. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. Also want to point out in chat, they say, yo, they had the bald ref for this one. So it was a bald match. It was shining.
Looking good out here. Looking good.
But because the first two matches didn't go into their hour's 60-minute time limit, we got this match of Megan Bayne versus Becca. before we went on air, I asked SP3, why we bring up this backup match if we still went over? I'm asking questions for myself. Happy the women are getting time.
Hey, to be fair, they didn't go over 18 minutes like they did on Wednesday. So
I mean, for Wednesday they was doing some Jordan. Remember that Nike commercial where they was doing a That's what they was doing last week Wednesday. Tony was in his prime. But we had this match, Megan Bayne versus Becca. Becca's outfit was so cute. I saw it for 2 minutes because we opened up with a claymore from Megan, who then looked at the camera and said, "You watching, Willow?" And then proceeded to hit that mega bomb on this poor girl. Becca, whatever they paid you, I hope they paid you double because that was unnecessary.
She got her block clothesline off on Wednesday by the Brawling Birds, and then she got powerbombed to oblivion by Megan Bayne. But I thought this was, I was like wondering why we didn't have a second women's match, because I've been kind of used to that on Collision, and I like that. And this was 2 back-to-back AEW shows that had 2 women's matches. I think that might be a record for the last year, especially. But hey, I'm all for extra women's match. I'm all for Megan Bayne. I think that they should book Megan Bayne and Willow Nightingale for the TBS championship and let Megan Bayne win the title. I think Megan Bayne should be a singles champion in AEW sooner rather than later.
I agree. I was even on board when I was like, well, maybe Megan Bayne should kill Toni Storm. Her presentation is, everything about Megan Bayne is right. So what are we doing? So, not my house coming through my hat. Oh my God. No brains. That's why people like Cresta, what are you thinking? Nothing. I got no brains.
No brains up there.
Only wrestling moves. No brains. No brains. That's what I got. I could tell you who don't got money because I don't remember when they said this, but the other Mikey V, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, why they find Swerve? He didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, he tried to murder my Kenny Omega. I'm happy that we got my Kenny Omega back, and he just delivered one of the best matches of the year alongside Swerve. So I didn't need him to almost murder him right after. We had to deal with multiple murders of Kenny in 2025. I didn't need it this early into 2026. So Swerve deserved to be fined. But man, can I just say my number one nitpick of this show? Tony Schiavone just doesn't work well with Excalibur. Like I think Tony is really missing Nigel on what's happened to Nigel. I was trying to look that up. Like, where's Nigel been at? It's been a couple
you said that, I was like, wait a minute, where is Nigel?
Yeah, I was wondering that the whole show. I was like, why is it Excalibur and Tony? They don't work well with each other because Tony then has to be the color commentator and he's awful at it. Oh my God. I could tell I wrote down multiple mistakes that he had on the night. When we were talking about the HOG matchup between MJF and Zilla Fatu, he said MJF was defending the Ring of Honor World Championship. I was like, Tony, you should know that he is the AEW World Champion. What are you talking about?
He did call Lee Jackson in the match.
He had so many mistakes on the show. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, Tony, this is your show too. Like, you're supposed to be the one that's supposed to be helping Excalibur. Then when El Clone comes out for the trios tag, he said El Clone is undefeated against the Don Callis family. Literally, Excalibur had to correct him. He was like, you mean the Death Riders? And he's like, yeah, right. I was like, oh my God.
All right, listen, I'm not gonna cook Tony because I don't even be knowing what I'm saying.
No. I respect Tony. I like what he does, and I prefer him with Nigel. Like Mikey.
Some people have better chemistry.
Yeah, like Mikey V said in the chat, he's better when he's with Nigel because Nigel keeps him on track, and Nigel will bust his chops if he gets anything wrong, but he seems to be more on the money when he's the play-by-play guy to Nigel being the color commentator. He's not good at being a color commentator. We hear that every Wednesday on Dynamite with him just chiming in a 3-man announce booth, and he just says cliches like, what a Dynamite moment, and stuff like that. That's ridiculous. So I need him to be with Nigel. I don't know what's happening, but we should specify that, or make Brian do double duty and make Brian work on Saturdays, because maybe he'll work better with Brian than he does Excalibur.
Yo, as somebody with a stutter, I feel a little attacked. I'm a little attacked right now. No, these are valid criticisms. These are the same criticisms that people sometimes have of JR. It's like, come on, dog. If it was somebody else, maybe, but it's you. And you are the guy. But listen, I'm dyslexic and I stutter. So who am I?
I am sorry, you would not call the AEW World Champion the Ring of Honor World Champion, though, Cresta. There's a difference between stuttering and messing up things and completely getting things wrong.
Not me over here defending Tony Schiavone like I know the man. Like maybe if you carry the one and then you add it, and then if Johnny had 3 apples, then you come to the fact that Tony did nothing wrong. Leave Tony alone.
Okay, so Ricky in the chat says, I think Nigel's partner was due to have a baby very recently or soon, could be the reason for his absence. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So just put Paul White. I don't know, just anybody that.
All right. Oh, yeah, don't make me kick you with that one. Stop it.
I'm just saying he just doesn't work well with Excalibur. Like, haven't we learned from multiple years of them working together on Dynamite? Them alone? No Taz, no Bryan Danielson.
No Taz?
Oh my god. Oh my god. This was not good.
Why you said no Taz? No Taz.
No Taz. No Ian Riccaboni. Come on.
No Ian Riccaboni. All right, y'all. I gotta stop. My face hurts. This is why they never let me, you, and Jeremy Lambert work together. All we do is laugh. And shout out to our people who listen to us on the podcast. Y'all probably like, yo, what is happening? We do get a backstage segment with Lexi there and Tommaso Ciampa. He talks about a lot of dates, but the most important date was it was 10 days since he lost his Sylvie, not Goldie, crucially. And he says, I lost. Okay, I came back. But Kyle's still in Australia. Where you at, Kyle? My question to you as P3 is, where you at, Kyle?
I mean, Kyle put his body on the line with Mark Briscoe. We still haven't seen Mark Briscoe. He did mention that as well. He was like, shout outs to Mark Briscoe, who also isn't here as well because he's recovering from that ladder match. I'm all for our protostar, the reigning ace of AEW, taking some time off, resting up, because I think that we are due for a Ciampa Fletcher rematch. That matchup that they had on Dynamite 2 weeks ago was absolutely superb, and I need some more of that. So I hope they make that for Revolution on March 15th.
I just have to highlight that because I will always be a champion for Veda Scott.
I agree.
So let's talk about another match that I didn't write a lot of notes for because this was also good. We had a trios match of becoming the new, get your mind out the gutters, the new heated rivalry in AEW between the Don Callis family and the Death Riders. To me, it was inevitable. There are some factions that are just inevitable that they were going to clash. The Elite and whoever, and now the Death Riders and the Don Callis family. We had Pac, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta versus Akron, Mark Davis, and Konosuke Takeshita. Yo, Konosuke's gonna kill somebody. He's so strong. He looks so good. This match was so good. John Moxley opened up the match with Mark Davis. It should have been at that point, like literally, these are all the notes I got just from this part down. And then I didn't write anymore because I tried to watch. This match was so good. I really, again, have no real notes. There was the count. Okay, Davis carries John Moxley into the corners, countered by a big DDT. There are rapid attacks on Mark Davis from all of the Death Riders. Willie Yuta, what you got on under that hat? Take off that hat, Willie Yuta.
The beanie stayed on the whole match. Bravo to Wheeler Yuta. Bravo.
At this point, he should have came out with a do-rag.
Yo, for real.
He should have came out with a do-rag. I know you be kicking it with Private Party. How one of them do you do, Ragdoll?
He'll tie you up tight, get those waves popping. You'll be good. You'll be good.
You couldn't tell me someone didn't hairspray or wig glue that hat down, because ain't no way that beat. What beanie was that? Willie, you to tap it. What beanie was that? We want to know.
It was the old Super Calo from WCW hat that
Goodbye.
he never used to get off his head.
I wanted at the end of the match for Takeshi like, give me that shit. Take it
And
off.
That's how I thought he was gonna win. He was gonna take off the hat, and then that took away all his power, and he just drained down. And he hits him with the raging fire. Hits him with the raging fire for the win.
This match was amazing. There was a double DDP on El Clone, and I think it was not Wheeler Yuta, not Dunkzilla. Who was the other person in that match? I literally just said it. Jesus Christ.
Takeshita.
No, because it wasn't there on Takeshi. Because Takeshi's too tall, Paul. So it had to be Mark Davis.
Yeah, it was on Mark Davis and El Clone, and El Clone shows once again he is immune to being dropped on his head. He always knows how to basically launch off of his hands and avoid the impact. And El Clone's so good. Seeing El Clone and Pac in the ring, I need that singles match. I need that singles match so bad. Hello.
This is now Roxanne Perez. And I had Buffalo Wild Wings earlier, and she wants a taste. So she's by my bag, by the garbage. So she's going into business for herself. So we're going to hold her before Mercedes Biane comes over here. It's like, why are you holding her? So anyway, you got something to say? Did you enjoy the match? All right. She said she's not sports impressed.
Roxanne Perez is very well done. Very well done.
I did not
very
name.
good.
I did not. Oh!
The cat just jabbed Cresta for the podcast listeners. Roxanne Perez just jabbed Cresta right in the chin.
Yo, I just got a lariat. I got a paw shot lariat right now. I'm so sorry, y'all.
That we do need to clip that. That's awesome.
I'm hot. I'm so sorry. This match does end with a raging fire on Yuta from Takeshi. The Don Callis family wins. Afterwards, they start staring each other down. They fight it. Everyone brawls, but Takeshi does get hit with the paradigm shift. Oh my god! I can't believe this cat did that to me in my own home.
Live on your YouTube screen.
We
got over 1,000 people watching you get jabbed. This is child abuse, but the reverse of child abuse, parent abuse.
Haters will say it's Photoshop. Yo, anybody else hot? Because I'm hot right now. All right. We do get our women's segments. We get the Babes of Wrath cutting a promo on Megan Bayne saying, listen, we beat you. We beat you here on our first title defense. We beat you here on our second. And then we beat you again. Yo, even Willow beat you solo. What more do you want from me? So I was like, all right. Makes sense. Willow then says, you want this belt? You want this belt? How you want to be us? You want our belts? Why does Harley Cameron grab her regular belt and says, you want this belt? I was like, belt? Harley Cameron, she is amazing. She's a sports clown, complimentary, and I live. I thought she was gonna say, "I'll give you up a belt to ass." I'm like, "Oh, you been hanging out with Willow for real, girl?" Oh my god! But it was PG. You have any thoughts on this segment?
I just enjoy the fact that they have turned down the comedy for Harley Cameron. So when she busts out with these lines, they mean more. They stand out more because she's been so like serious and been the fighting champion. So when she makes us laugh, it is a bigger laughter because she doesn't do it all the time anymore.
She is so great. And honestly, Saturday Night Live, you messing up. Look at the material. She's a literal clown. Complimentary. Let's talk about someone who's not a clown. Okay. Thunder Rosa versus Julia Hart. There's a clown that comes out post-match, but not the one you think. It comes out post-match.
Best promo of the night was post-match.
This match, man, I miss Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa ain't miss a beat. I love Thunder Rosa. But this match was really about welcome back, Thunder Rosa, beat up Julia Hart. But it was the end. It was... Thekla is the best women's heel I have ever seen in a very long time. And I can't think of anyone who's more worse than her. She's FTR levels of healing it up. When she came out, what are they teaching these people in Austria? Because her and Gunther are on a different level, man. What are they teaching y'all out there? What's in the water, bro? She was like, oh, you're the toughest woman alive and the dumbest bitch alive. I'm like, God.
She said you're one of the greatest in AEW and one of the dumbest bitches alive. She started speaking Spanish. She's like, para.
Yo, I love her. I'm afraid of her. 4,000%. 4,000%. This.
Yo, like first time I saw Tekla was in Stardom, and Stardom, she's surrounded around some of the like greatest women's wrestlers in the world today. So I'm paying attention. She was in a group at one time with Julia and stuff like that. So I'm paying more attention to Julia and the other people around her and all the great matches that happened in Stardom. This woman, ever since she's come to AEW television, and it took a while for her to find her footing, find her place, but man, has she become such a wonderful TV character. And I think that's the whole reason why they gave her the AEW Women's World Championship, because for the first time since Toni Storm was the champion, they have a great TV character to hold that title, and that's what Tekla is. Tekla she brings something different. There's just going to be a different vibe to her, and just her coming out, it made me interested in seeing her fight Thunder Rosa, because they're similar size. They got that similar kind of fiery personality, and I think they could just beat the hell out of each other. So I really want to see this matchup right now. But I agree with you. The match was really about Thunder Rosa and her ability to connect with the crowd, because the crowd was relatively quiet early on, but they got into the matchup to rally behind Thunder Rosa, and she was getting the hard hitting, talking her trash during the matchup, taking off the jersey and just whooping ass at the end, and then hitting the Fire Thunder driver for the win. So looking good, strong victory for Thunder Rosa in her return. But yeah, the post-match was the highlight for me. The Tekla was awesome here.
I have to say also, to follow up with your comment, that I think Tekla being who she is such a different juxtaposition of what Toni Storm was. And sometimes you need these different levels. And I think that what Toni Storm does from a performance major standpoint is super cerebral, but it's so silly that anyone can get what's going on. It's very much like, I see what's happening here, but it's on the nose, but it's not on the nose. But on the other hand, you've got Tekla, who's like, F all of that. I want you to die. Like, no, I really want you to die. I want you to die. You gotta go. You gotta get up out of here. And I'm gonna throw you out, Jazzy Jeff style. She is great. I love Thunder Rosa. Somebody had pointed out in the chat that when she was like, yo, you take off for 4 months and you come back and the first person you challenge is me? I respect it. Thunder Rosa's that girl, but Tekla is also Satan.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with Tekla right now, and that's why, like you mentioned with Toni Storm, I really want Toni to get back into the title picture, because I think her and Tekla could have a great feud with their characters together. But I want Tekla to hold this title for a while, because she's really kind of caught her stride in AEW and well deserving of being the champion right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please get in your super chats and your humper chats. We are coming down the home stretch. We got one more match, 2 more segments. So if you got something to say Say it now with your money, Mr. Krabs. I'm sorry. We have another super chat that goes right with our segment that says, Private Party Sickos, aka Dark Mocha, got us tonight. I don't know what Dark Mocha is. That sounds like an Incredible Hulk where you're drinking Henny and what was that? It was Henny and something else. Alizé or something. I don't know.
Henny and Alizé. That's a deadly combination.
I don't think it was Henny and Alizé. I forgot what it was, but it was called the Incredible Hulk for a reason. It was called Incredible Hulk for a reason. I want to say that Private Party was like, boom, everyone can get it. Love that all the cool people were back there. The Outrunners were back there.
The Bang Bang Gang.
Anthony Bowens. Love seeing Juice Robinson. Hypnotic. Yes. Thank you, Sophie Kid. It was Hypnotic. Man, Henny and Hypnotic, what a time to not be alive.
Jesus.
That was a 99. That was a 98 special. Oof. You go into the club. They playing, it's like maybe 2002, 2005. Jagged Edges in the background. You at the club out to pay $40 for an Incredible Hulk. Hey, where the party at?
Girls in the party at.
It was in the back with Private Party. Yes. I do want to see Private Party back.
I love someone saying there's no girls at the party, and then Anthony Bowen saying good.
Now that's on what? Equality.
Appreciate you, Bowen.
I don't want to go to your stupid party anyway. Your party sucks. Oh my goodness. We got Louisville. Thank you so much for coming in again. Saying, don't drink Incredible Hulks, kids. Man, there's a song by D12 or a line that says, I thought I was incredible and killed the Hulk. So don't drink Incredible Hulks, guys. That's not it.
Yes. That's Bizarre's favorite drink. So never drink what Bizarre is drinking.
His name is Bizarre. Not Cesaro, but Bizarro.
Henny, Nonic, Exotic, body smell like vomit.
Speaking of bizarre people, we got Gabe Kid and Clark Connors. My literal note is Clark Connors and Gabe Kid being weird. I don't get it. To me, I don't resonate with Gabe Kid's character. Because every time he talks, all I hear is in his background, because he's talking and making these sounds at the same time. I'm sports scared. Like, you want to kill Darby Allin? Good luck. He's already dead. Nice try. That man literally has plot armor. He is literally Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. You cannot kill him. He is rubber. Nice try. Orange Cassidy? The guy that everyone loves, yeah. I don't think, and I like Clark Connors' glasses. I'm running this down, but I don't know what this was about. You want to beat them up? I guess y'all are weird.
Well, it sets up Gabe Kid versus Orange Cassidy on Dynamite on Wednesday. Tony Schiavone, for some reason, during the finish of the main event, wanted to announce that, and Excalibur had to tell him, "Shut up! This is the finish of the matchup." So yeah, I like Gabe Kid. I think his promo style, it range. There's some range to it. Sometimes he's the snarling pit bull war dog, and sometimes he can be more measured and he comes off very believable, like his promo after the New Beginning in Osaka a couple of weeks ago. He comes off more measured and inspired in his work sometimes, and then there's times like this where he's embracing that Tony Schiavone thinks that he's mental, and he's like, I am mental. Then I told you, Darby Allin, I'm not gonna rest until you're sniffing up daisies. And then he calls out the Orange Man. The Orange Man has a problem. We're gonna take care of the Orange Man. So I can get his range. I can get either side of his promo style here. And of course, Clark Connors with the finishing line, "He's my dog for real."
I was so sports confused about that. Because what you mean by that?
They're war dogs. That's the theme song. You're my dogs for real. You're my dogs for real. Yeah.
He came out last week running on all fours. Yikes. I'm afraid of him. If you ever see this Gabe Kid, you probably won't. I'm afraid of you. I'm scared. I'm sports scared. You got it. You can have my wallet. Ain't no money, but you can have it.
It's like he was a dog, and then he goes through the curtain, and he becomes a human. And he was still on all fours, and then he realized, oh, I'm a human now, so he started walking.
So if I went to the Dog Cowler School of Facts, he went to the DMX School of Dogs.
Yeah.
I apologize to people who watch this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I like wrestling. I swear. I swear. Yeah, I don't know, man. Because part of me is like, listen, I like Darby Allin. I like Orange Cassidy. And while these guys are weird, they're also dangerous. These are bad men. These are bad men. Okay.
I've seen a lot of people in the chat and online who think that this is leading to David Finlay coming in and joining up with the War Dogs in AEW. I mean, a lot of people seem to believe that David Finlay is going to wind up in WWE. What do you think? Do you think he winds up in WWE with his father and his brother Uriah Connors on NXT, or is he coming to AEW to join up with his dogs for real?
So I'm not really familiar with this other fellow. You said his name was David Finlay. I'm not really familiar with his work. But if he's like these two men, why? Yo, if he's a dog, do you want to be a Chihuahua in WWE? Or do you want to be a Cane Corso in AEW? You got a pit bull and then a snub nose, whatever, another mean dog. Okay? You could be a Chihuahua. Sure, you live a life of pamper. You bark and you shake. People pick you up, you go like this. Sure. Or do you want to be out in the street biting people? It depends on what you want to do. And if he's like anything like these guys, I think he's going to want to bite people, give them rabies. I'm just saying.
Can't have too many dogs. No more dogs. No more dogs in the house.
Who let the dogs out? Who? AEW did, as it turns out. New Japan released the War Dogs, and AEW said, come to this kennel, dogs. Guys, we are at our last match of the night. We are at our main event. We have the tag team title eliminator that was alluded to was made at the beginning of this show between the Rascals, Zachary Wentz, Desmond Xavier, and FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler with Wheelchair Stoke. Myron Reed was also in the corner of Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz. I love FTR. They are the worst, best heels you could ever ask for because these guys are your straight heels. Awful peoples. Mean men, okay? Respectfully, I love them. And to have, I feel like, to have the wrestling whimsy that the Rascals have, 10 out of 10 with them. And it's not like the Rascals were young, plucky kids, unprepared. They were still, on it. They were still, they're a good tag team. When Wentz slapped the shit out of Dax, and whether it was real or not, the way Dax sold it, it was like, yeah, respect me. I may be smoking on the devil's lettuce, but I'm a professional wrestler. Put respect on the professional part, pal. Halfway through it, not even halfway, maybe 3 minutes into the match, we got Dax and Cash running down the FTR kids, not FTR kids, the Bucks kids. They're children. They're not even teens, bro.
Did you hear what he said to them? He said, sit down. And then Cash says, this is why you should stay in school.
I mean, he's not wrong. Stay in school, kids. It's hard out here in these streets, and they can't take an education away from you.
straight pie face Malachi Jackson, the Bucks' younger brother, as well. During the matchup, that was a teaser for what they were gonna do post match, and that's when I got the first hint of what they were gonna do. I was like, "Oh, they going in on the Bucks family right now. What's gonna happen here? This is interesting." So,
I honestly was afraid because listen, FTR are some good heels, but I felt in my heart that Dax was gonna grab one of the little kids, shut up, no, Dax, please, you would do something like this, please, Dax. This This match was great. There was a beautiful shooting star press on Cash from Desmond Xavier. There was a nasty looking Tiger Driver from Dax onto Desmond Xavier. And again, this nasty, disgusting sheer drop brainbuster. But it from Zachary, I believe, onto Cash, but it was only 2. So the match was fine. The post-match was fine as well. The connective tissue between those two kind of annoyed me, right? So the Bucks just randomly come out. I get it. You're doing a lot. You guys are cheating. You yelling whatever it is. But how do you, FTR, they kept saying you guys always lose your eliminator matches. Why are you worried about these guys in Fringe? They really confused you. And then you got hot fired flamed because Cash is over here jaw jacking with the Bucks. Dax is in trouble. So now the Rascals win, obviously, and they have a tag title coming up against FTR. In that regard, I would rather them lose clean or whatever it was, because the Bucks didn't really even do anything. It's not like they ran down and was really broad. They just kind of got to the top of the ramp, kind of like Jack Perry. And I think they ran around the back. But even if so, it's kind of like, aren't you the chaps? Don't you guys say you're just no flips, just fists? How are you distracted by some music? It's not even like it was the guitar music. You could be like, it wasn't even that, bro.
They didn't even come out to their music because that would have been way too.
Drugs?
No, that's the Jack Perry run-in. The Jack Perry distraction is him coming out to his music and then playing it for like 30 seconds, and before Ricochet gets a buckshot Larry. The Bucks ran down to ringside to cause the distraction, but yeah, it was at that point it was way too similar to the opener. So I understand why you got it confused, but yeah, I mean. The finish wasn't as good as the matchup. I thought the matchup was probably like a good preview for what they will actually do when the AEW World Tag Team titles is on the line. And the FTR just works so well with high-flying tag teams, whether it's the Young Bucks or whether it's Jet Speed or whether it's the Rascals here. They really always work well with these high-flying kind of smaller tag teams where they can show off their power, kind of dominate them and set up their comeback. I like the Rascals picking up the victory here because I was very scared that they were going to lose here, and I thought it was way too early, especially with the establishing segment where they talked about how Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier are the undefeated pairing of the Rascals. So this was good for them to pick up the victory here. And I'm so glad Desmond Xavier is here because I miss this Desmond Xavier. This Desmond Xavier is the Desmond Xavier we saw as Wesley as North American champion, and then they told him to cut off his dreads. So no, I like this Desmond Xavier with his dreads, high flying around, all his great offense, the different kicks when he's down on his back and he does the up kick up. Love that type of stuff from him. He's so good in the ring. Zachary Wentz is awesome as well. So this was a good preview for what they can do in the full matchup, but I thought the post match was splendid. It was splendid. Splendid heeldom.
We love a good heel moment, and we all know why you're here, you AEW sickos. Now we get to the meat and potatoes of it. So boom, the match ends. The Bucks are out here. Brawl ensues, right? They're outnumbered, clearly. So here comes Jack Perry. But then, no. So the man comes out first. Yeah. Starts beating up people. Jack Perry come out, Ricochet says, and beats him up too. So we thinking, all right, whatever. Why does FTR says, turn it up? Starts Stokely with the pocket sand, some mama buck, and then throws it again. It was just in the air. He completely misses. Then you get FTR who push Papa Buck, and then they push Mama Buck. I was like, oh, they wildin'. They wildin' out here. FTR is known for abusing the elderly. Look what they did to Rock and Roll Express. They don't care, bro. They do not care. Yeah. Then they get Younger Buck. I didn't even know there was a Younger Buck for the Young Bucks, but they get a Younger Buck who was just a normal Buck, and they gave him a what was it? A tombstone, a spike tile. I know it was something like that. Like, yo, why? Why this man?
As the Gates of Agony were holding the Young Bucks to watch it, This is what this feud needed. I said it at the top of the show. I'll say it again. It's been way too much. Oh, we're the greatest team ever. Oh, you're the greatest team ever. Oh, I'm the greatest team ever. Oh, I'm the greatest AEW World Tag Team Champions ever. We never got that hatred. Like, they did that whole angle with the Rock and Roll Express, like you mentioned, in the lead up to their first matchup back at Full Gear 2020. And, Rock and Roll Express, yeah, the Young Bucks is kind of like a fourth or fifth evolution of Rock and Roll Express. That's okay to get some heat and have some type of like story to involved in this, but this is true heat. This is true heel heat. True heel heat, like attacking the family, pushing down the parents, and they set it up very well with the promo on Dynamite where Stokely said, "I hate the Young Bucks. They're at the top of our hate list, but right behind them is Mama Buck and Papa Buck and all your dumbass kids running around backstage." So they set it up. They set it up perfectly, bringing up the family in the promo on Dynamite, and then they paid it off here where they attacked the younger brother in front of the Bucks. Now there's some actual hatred, some actual story to go along with two of the greatest tag teams going at it. And if they're going at it in a straight up matchup, I think this could steal the show at Revolution.
Also, too, want to point out, not Stokely kicking somebody from the wheelchair while he's down. Stokely, man, yo, I can't wait till Stokely is unleashed as a manager for real, for real. He has Don Callis, Paul Heyman, Zelina Vega potential. He's too good. He's too good. He's the best, worst manager you could have. He'll talk you into anything, and he'll do the job. He's gonna take that bump.
I do love how you snuck Zelina Vega in there. I do love that. That was nice. That was nice.
Zelina Vega as a manager, she was murdering people on the mic for Andrade. She was rude. She was all 5 feet of her was rude. I don't care. Okay.
That was like nearly a decade ago.
And you know what? Go backstage. Go get this guy out of here. Get this guy up out of here. All right. Thank you all for watching. This is a Zelina Vega stand account, and it will be a Zelina Vega stand account. I don't care. Until Sean Ross Sapp gets me up out of here, we gonna have a Zelina Vega stand account. I don't care. All right? We got 2 more super chats, and then we gonna get up out of here. We got the super chat in from the other Mikey said, Clark and Gabe are just the evil Bang Bang gang. Yeah, Juice Robinson do be making weird sounds, but I like it because he's cool. You're right. You're not wrong.
Yeah, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy with my dogs for real. My dogs for real. And I do love how Clark Connors has really kind of embraced his missus personality, because he's with Tekla in real life, and he comes off like he got some lessons from Tekla.
Clark Connors is dating Tekla, or is Tekla dating Clark Connors?
I mean, you're probably right. Probably the latter.
Tekla says, "You're my girlfriend." Yo, yeah, I'm your girlfriend. Yo, I love you. I love what super chat from Noise saying, more heels need to take more lessons from FCR and Thekla. Yes, be evil, hated for no reason. Hated for no. There's a reason. There's a reason. But no, I agree.
Yes.
No, but this is something that me and Joe Pearl used to say all the time on the how do I take this down? I'm silly. Me and Joe Pearl used to say this all the time on the TNA post show when it comes to people like Trick Williams as an example. Too many heels are cool heels, and there's nothing wrong with being a cool heel, MJF. But sometimes that creates the problem of, I want you to boo this guy, Becky Lynch, but you're cheering this person who is too cool, Kevin Owens. So
yeah, we see it nowadays with someone like a Trick Williams. Trick Williams is just too cool to be hated But FTR, like, that's why I don't understand all the hatred FTR gets, because FTR is so good at generating heat. And I feel like Stokely Hathaway has been the missing link, where FTR for years have said their favorite tag team is the Midnight Express. And now they finally got their Black Jim Cornette to go along with their Midnight Express.
All right, okay, all right. Yo. Yo, tell the people they can find you. We're done. We're done. Tell the people they can find you, SP3. We're done. We're done.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. I will check out the True Hill Heat flagship podcast over on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel. We were there today. Miss Chrissy Love was cursing out WWE and Kevin Nash, so check it out. It was a great episode, an all-timer episode. And also have a new podcast, True Headphone Heat, over on True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment, where me and Stat King re-review J. Cole, The Fall Off. And I want to thank Cresta, I want to thank Rick, Iridian, and Kate for bringing me on. I love being the substitute teacher here on the Fightful main channel, and I did 2 Fightful post shows this week, so shout outs to Alex Pulowski. Check out the NXT post show as well. But Cresta, you are awesome, despite kicking me off twice in this last hour.
New Yorker to New York, he's being fugazi. So, like,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He is. They've always wanted to be the Midnight Express. I am sorry. I'm sorry. That's what they always said.
My name is Cresta Star. You can find me everywhere on social media at Cresta Stars, 2 R's, because I'm a pirate. There's no investigation this month because my apartment is getting remodeled, so I'm going to try to put out 2 next month, but mental illness. Please make sure to follow Fightful and Fightful Select everywhere where you have a finger and a keyboard. Am I plugging everything? Oh, yeah, I'm on Twitter. Follow us. Follow everyone. Heal the world. Make it a better place. You look amazing. Your butt looks nice. Hope you find $20 on the floor. And we're out of here. Wrestling. Bye, y'all.